Hello, 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 hello. I said I would dedicate a week to going live as much as time I have available. I have started back my exercise routine of getting up early and getting my exercise in, right? So as time would allocate, I said I would go back to maybe taking out weeks at a time of just stressing or making videos on one particular topic or subject matter. So this week is all about beating debt collections, right? Beating debt collections, also aka known as junk debt buyers. How to legally owe $0 towards a debt collector. So as you come in, do your do now. That's the phrase made popular by the legacy of Dr. Lorraine Monroe. If you know about anything in education, you can very well Google her legacy. Dr. Lorraine Monroe, very powerful black female in education who just transformed some things in education. So make sure you drop your city and your state, do your do now, right? Like and share this video, hit the thumbs up. I have someone on YouTube who always hit the thumbs down. Do what you do. Either way, hey, it gets views to my video, so do what you do. So let's talk about how to legally pay zero to a debt collector, right? And I also made a co-caption in this video title that says, getting or wanting free will cause you failure. Always wanting free will cause you failure. So let me make sure that I got connection. Make sure my connection is strong and all. I don't know, sometimes my connection is not as strong as I would like to on my cell phone, but you know, I have to do videos when I can. And so I try to do them in the strongest network connection while I'm driving. Wanting free will cause you failure. What do I mean by that? Well, it's a lot of people, right? A lot of people, they hear about debt validation. They hear about validation of debt, right? And what exactly does that mean? What exactly does that mean? Well, it means that for whatever reason, whether you have defaulted from paying your bill with a company for the services that they provided to you. I don't know, maybe you came in hard times. You know, maybe it was an account in 6 months you have not made payment on it and it went into charge-off status. Maybe you were ill or sick and you went to visit a clinic or a doctor and you didn't pay that remaining balance, right, that your insurance did not cover, and now you have a collection debt, right, or a debt buyer who purchased that debt, right? And I say all the time, they purchased that debt for pennies on the dollar. So what does that mean? Well, they take the risk. It's like a gambling or a casino. They buy low and then they want to recover high, right? They buy low and they want to recover high. Some debt collectors, they get your debt or they get that bill dirt cheap, meaning that it's not just pennies on the dollars. Sometimes it's a half of a cent of the amount that you owe the company that they will buy that debt for, right? And then they will collect from you. Now, there are many reasons why, number one, medical bills are sold to debt collections because, number one, medical agencies, companies, hospitals, unless a hospital has an in-house collection agency that they use, they cannot legally take you to court for unpaid medical services, right? Because, you know, they have their rights, they have their protection that you have to treat people if they have any sickness or ailment. Once they present you any form of insurance or Medicaid or state medical services, they can assist you in paying, even if it's a partial of the portion of what they would charge you to treat you. right? And so they are under an oath that they will provide you services. They want some type of a small deposit or some type of insurance backing at the time that you visit the clinic, right? And so that's why a lot of your medical bills are really sold to debt collectors, right? Because they legally cannot take you to debt for their court. They are under an oath to provide you health services. And so oftentimes people have surgeries, they have not just small clinical bills, but they have major issues in their health. And as a result, they have thousands of dollars that may be sold to a debt collector. And a lot of times people just opt out on these collection bills to file bankruptcy, right? To file bankruptcy, because usually the higher the amount, the higher when it gets into the $1,000 range, the more likely that if you do nothing, if you don't respond, that debt collector will summons you and now have the right to subpoena you to court to pay the bill. They do not have that right if you request within that 30-day window for them to validate the debt. If you do not request that, if you ignore it, then they give them the legal right to summons or subpoena you to court for the bill, right? Because it will inform you in the letter, in the writing, that we assume, we're making an assumption that this debt is true, it's valid. And so what a lot of people do is they go on Google, they find a letter, a template letter, and they try to do this for free. And when they attempt to do it for free, they fail. What happens is now the company, the debt buyer, now sends you a bill in the mail from the company that you received services from, whether it was cable, their cable bill, their cell phone bill, this light is in charge, but whatever the bill may be, and you take it, this was the bill, and this was the original count, and this was the clinic that I visited, and this was the hospital I had surgery, and you take it that is validation. So then after your 30 days of getting that information provided to you, they now have the right to say, okay, we've provided them what they think validation it is. They have not made any payments or arrangements to pay. So now we have the right to summons them to court. But this is what people don't understand, right? They use these free letters and think that that's proper. That is not debt validation under the law. These free template letters that you get from Google that ask you to prove the amount that I owe is what you say I owe, prove that you're a registered collector in my state, all of that is not legal debt validation, right? And that's probably why those letters are provided for you for free. And what people do is they try to use those letters instead of getting the professional consulting services that I can offer them to legally not pay a debt. Now, I've heard very few and far between that some people have used a free letter and the collection agency may or may not respond it. And that did work in their favor. But 9 times out of 10, especially when it's a medical bill debt collection, you have to know how to correspond when they're sending you these bills or these printouts or proof of accounts, even if it's a charge off of a credit card debt. That is not proper validation. That is not proof that they have the legal documentation that they need to collect this account from you. Because remember, you did no services. You were no customer of theirs. You had no transactions with these companies. So they have to have legal documentation in place, right, by law, to collect for you. And this law is by federal law, and that's what you don't get free. That's what you don't get on the internet, and that's what you all don't know. So I think my connection, it probably is not good. I just saw a green light. The connection was available, so I'm not sure this video even was going live because the network connection was not available. But that's what a lot of people don't know. That's what they don't understand. It's not legal validation. And then you get yourself in a position to now where they have the right to summons you to court. And this is how a lot of debt buyers or collection agencies get their money. You just don't show up to court. You don't show up to court. You ignore it. You're afraid of the court system, and you don't show up because you don't know the law, and you don't know that they didn't properly serve you validation. And now they just went off a default judgment, meaning that we won because this client did not show up to defend themselves. And so if you do debt validation the right way, and if you know what proper debt validation is, it won't even go to court. You don't even have to go to court. But again, like I said, what a lot of people want is they want me to spoon feed them step by step, and to tell them in a video what legal proper debt validation is without them investing anything into, they won't even like and share a video. They won't even like and share a video. They won't even share videos on their timeline. They won't even watch the video in its entirety. And they want me to spill the beans on a free video of what proper debt validation is to save them thousands of dollars. And that's why if you have that mindset, if you want free all the time, you will fail. If you want help to eradicate illegal debt buyers, then you reach out to me. Reach out to my website, www.𝒞𝓃𝑒𝒹.com, or send me an email at ld@𝒞𝓃𝓃𝑒𝒹.com. Let's look at your letter from the debt collector, and let's see where you stand legally and if you can eradicate that debt, right? And so that's how that works. That's why if you want free, you will fail. Some people watch my videos live for months and months and months, and then they wait till the last minute to where they're in a desperate need to close on a house, or they see a house that they want and they watch my videos and they sit back for 6 months and they do nothing. They don't respond, or they get that debt validation letter and they've seen over 20 videos that I make on the topic. And then when that buyer sends them that summons in the mail that now you have to appear in court, they want to reach out and say, "Hey, Queen, can you help me? I have a summons to appear in court." Well, maybe I can, and maybe you can't, because you still can't protect yourself. You still can go and legally represent yourself in court, but I have to provide you with the information on what to say and how to defend yourself. But if I'm totally booked at that time and I don't have the time, and you've let your situation get down to a last minute in an emergency situation, then that's the gamble you took because you was not proactive in the beginning. You didn't react when you got that letter in the mail from the debt collector. You put it to the side. You didn't respond. You thought if you ignore the debt collector, that the debt collector would ignore you. And it doesn't work like that when people want money. You thought if you ignore those negative items on your credit report, that sooner or later you will not need your credit for any situation. And now you've gotten into a desperate situation, because usually after a while, bad credit will render bad situations. If you continue to live with bad credit, you will financially eventually come up on a bad situation. And because you sat on your fingers and you did nothing, and you lived this life for years and months with bad credit, now you're at someone's mercy to try to help you, because now you're in a very dispute situation financially. There are no financial situations that would just go away because you ignore it. Matter of fact, you're going to manifest situations that are worse. And because I tell people all the time, you give other people gifts, you spend money for your kids to enjoy themselves for Christmas and on toys and irrelevant things. You need to give yourself the gift of having good credit and good cash flow. Before we have 34 days until Christmas, you need to give yourself a gift, right? Spend some money into you and your financial life and your financial situation. People want to ask me all the time, what book did you read? I don't know. I can't even answer that question about what book I've read. I go to Barnes and Noble and read books on Saturdays as a habit. you know, as a hobby. So people want one book, you know, they want one miracle cure. They want this is years and months of me researching and being hungry for thirst and knowledge and after the truth of why people have bad credit, the mindset for bad credit and bad cash flow. What games do what's supposed to be reported on your credit report, how it's supposed to be reported, what legal guidelines do these people supposed to follow, what legal guidelines do debt collectors supposed to follow before they collect from you. Because to me, it would just make sense that if I did not do business with this company, in no way, shape, or form, how do they have the legal right to collect from me? Right? Without proving to me that they have legally did the procedures necessary to be in position to collect this money that I owe someone else or another company or another business. So yes, I'm signing off. You all have a terrific Thursday. Again, visit my website, www.fixmycreditandcash.com. Email me, ld@fixmycreditandcash.com. This is the Queen of Credit here. Cash flow and debt collectors, destroying debt demons. You know, so hey, reach out to me. You don't have to live with bad credit. You don't have to live in the fear and the stress. Some people say, hey, I don't have money, I'm broke, but I'm at peace. I think that's an oxymoron. How can you be at peace and you're broke? I don't understand it. Even the homeless people are not at peace when they're broke, because every day they wake up, they know that they have to hustle to get a meal. They have to hope that the weather conditions are appropriate, so you know that they can have rest and sleep at night where they're not freezing in cold sub-temperature weather conditions. How can you be broke and live paycheck to paycheck and have peace? Now, you may be happy, because I'm sure homeless people are happy. They don't have bills to pay. But I don't understand how they can have peace, because they don't know who will give to them on the street corner every day. They don't know if they'll make $50 hustling or asking for donations today, or if they'll make $100. They don't know if they're going to go hungry for the next 2 or 3 days, or if they'll go hungry for the next 2 or 3 hours. How can you be at peace and you're broke? How can you be at peace when you don't know if you're going to have the money to keep your light, water, and gas bill on this month? How does that produce peace? You can be happy and broke. You know, you can leech off someone else and not have to pay bills and not be, but I don't see how that process is peaceful, because at any time that person can tell you, hey, I'm cutting you off. I'm tired of carrying you. You know, I've been letting you live here with me. I've been paying your bills. I've been feeding you when you're hungry. But at sometimes, even Jesus told the lame man, you got to pick up your own bed and walk. So how is it peaceful if you're broke? I don't understand it. You may be happy and broke because you're temporarily leeching out someone else, but I don't know how they can produce peace, because at some point, your support system when you're broke is cut off. At some point, you have to be responsible in your life financially. So how can you be peaceful and broke? How can you be peaceful and living with bad credit? How can you be peaceful and getting a vehicle finance at 15 or 20%? How is that peace when you're paying 10 times as much for a vehicle because you have bad credit? How is it peaceful when you don't know when that debt collector is going to send you a summons to court? I don't understand. How is that peaceful? So, I'm signing off again. For the third time, I'm signing off. Have a great day.